Hello and welcome. Welcome to support my orphans and widows of the Hosea 14 project and end the wars being fueled by your concept of money. Let me repeat that again. Welcome to support my orphans and widows of the Hosea 14 project and end the wars being fueled by your concept of money. Because as you know, money is a very important tool. Now, I won't have time to explain it in here because this is just an introduction to my campaign. But if you contribute as you should, you will find out in which way you can use it to facilitate peace or to instigate war. But nonetheless, this is my subject for today. And this is the thing that we're doing. So be the CEOs or CFOs supporting, be the CEOs or CFOs supporting pillars for the Hosea 14 project. And don't worry, this is not just for CEOs. It's just that I own the domains, the CEOs.com and the CFOs.com. I have owned them for 21 years. And now I'm thinking of doing something with them, to promote this Hosea 14 project. It's going to be very exciting. And I'm going through some dire needs with this ministries that I've been supporting for a few years now. But due to circumstances, beyond my control, I was forced to do this, something that I have never done before, but it was good anyhow that it happened, because I see why it was able to happen. But let me continue here. All right, let's see. For those who don't know me, I am Zechariah David Emmanuel Castro Stevenson. I was born in Guatemala on December 25th, 1959. But now, as I officially start this magnificently royal career of being of service to the most intimate creator of all, I will be using David Stevenson as my official name. David means beloved, and Stephen means crown. My whole name in the here and now means the beloved crowning son, and crowning everybody is exactly what is going to be done by the whole wide world campaign for supporting my orphans and widows. Let me give you a picture for that. Goes along with that. Let me see here. All right, we're going to be crowning everybody because these are the people that have been supporting that I have been supporting for a couple of years. And for some reason, everybody's going through troubles right now. And I'm also going through troubles. So the Lord forced this situation upon me to start this campaign, which you're going to see they're working wonderfully. So in here, you can see that I put each one as $1 million bill with their own crowns. That's me with my crown there. That's my fiancée Elizabeth there with her crown. That's the best friend of my fiancée Elizabeth with her crown. That's Asia Barkat, the one in Pakistan. That's another member of the family here, Brianna, with her kids. And they all seem all of a sudden to be going through some dire problems, But nonetheless, the reason why I put them in their crowns, and this because where your crown is your wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Your Hagma Ben Adah, which is in Hebrew, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, crowns, because that's the crown that allows you to produce services. So each one being in $1 million bill, that's much services you get to produce in this world. Almost far more than everybody tells you. So that's why you have tremendous value, because you use your crown, your wisdom, understanding, and knowledge to create all these products and services. So I'm going to make it plain for you. So that's why you're very valuable to me and to your maker. But let me go back to the reading. All right. Okay, it says, all right. And exactly that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's go to the second paragraph. So far, all my life, I have never ran any kind of funding campaign for me or anybody else for that matter. But now, since the middle of April of this year, the California Franchise Tax Board put an order to garnish 25% of my wages which is making it very difficult on me to continue to faithfully support the widows and orphans that I have been helping on my own for quite a while now. You know, I have always done it with my own earned money. I have never collected donations or anything. But the Lord found an interesting way of making me change my patterns for his own glory and good anyhow. Now, God allowed the government to do this to me for a higher, greater purpose. You know, for a higher, greater purpose, which I wasn't able to understand until I woke up today on Memorial Day. Memorial is for Zechar, that's Zacharias. My name is Zach. That the name means memorial, means to remember. So on the day, that means like my first name, Zachar, you know, he made me understand why I have been going through this for the last almost a month and a half now. Anyhow, this was done because since the day I read the book titled Investigating the Federal Income Tax, a report to the American people by Joseph R. Bannister, a former IRS tax investigator inspector who quit working for the IRS because he found out that paying taxes is unconstitutional and confronted them. I thoroughly agreed with what he said in his book, and therefore I also stopped filing my income taxes returns since 2014. I'll give you a picture to go along with that so you'll know the book I'm talking about. And eventually I'm going to be funding his campaign. He's in there. It's called an agent for truth.com. You know, and he was an inspector working there. Okay, and let me see what I can show you here for that one. All right, that is his book here, Investigating the Federal Income Tax, you know, by Joseph R. Bannister. A great book that I recommend for everybody that likes to know how things happen. You know, he did his homework and all of that. This part of, I'm not going to be able to talk about this, but we will see the breakdown and the right way of have the right concept of money that propagates peace and the wrong concept that instigates war. But we'll be talking about that later on. Let me get back to this. Okay. All right, then it says, as I was pondering, let me get book here. Over here. As I was pondering on what I needed to do to keep on being able to support my fatherless and widows, this morning when I woke up, it became very clear to me why God allowed this to happen to me at this time. God all of a sudden was causing the people that I've been supporting to get sick, dehydrated, and go through a lot of hardships that were beyond my control to ameliorate them, especially Aisha Barkat, who conducts a wonderful ministry for widows and orphans in the city of Lahore in Pakistan. She is a Christian in a country that is 95% Muslim, and they are always under constant turmoil. She has been suffering a lot of power outages and going through a lot of dehydration because it's very hot there during the summer. And furthermore, a couple of days ago, the church that was close to her home got bombed, and one of her elderly neighbors got beaten to death on the street, and the Muslims burned down his house. All right, I'll show you her at the beginning. She's the one that I mainly want to be very supportive of her because she's risking her life every day there, you know, but yeah, she faithfully goes along with it. Okay, now let me go up a little bit. Now, I said, when I went over my meditation this morning on Hosea chapter 14, the Lord placed back into my mind an idea that I had had about 5 years ago as I understood the Alefbet, that is alphabet in Hebrew. As I understood the alphabet, which means father, by the way, because Alefbet means father, in the light of what he is constantly doing to run the amazing life-giving economy of the breath. And that's an acronym that I made that stands for Bonafide, remarkable energizations air triumphantly handles. Because that's what breath is. But I have studied it as an economy of the amazing things that are happening within us. So I call it the breath science. And it stands for Bonafide, remarkable energizations air triumphantly handles. I was telling God in my mind during my Torah meditations that to me it looks as if the Torah has been left as a widow and her words that she carries inside the scroll are orphans, because nobody seems to be interested nowadays to teach the dynamics of the breath in the here and now, which is the reason why the Torah is written in the present tense and not as the translators presented in all the other languages. Because in the other languages, it's written in the format of time and space, but in the original Hebrew, it's actually written in the present tense. But the translation, they did that to try to make sense, but you lost everything in translation. You lost the whole treasure of what God is trying to, how God was trying to reveal himself. But I've been a translator for 40 years, so God had to take somebody that's been in that business to try to read it properly and get it out. Okay, so I'm ready to teach it now the way it's supposed to. In any case, here we go. Okay, then it says, then God planted this thought in my heart and in my head. I don't hear the voice of God audibly like some people do, but I get very heavy and concrete thoughts that I started writing them down, and non-stop until my hand stops. So it's thoughts, very heavy thoughts that I get. So this is the thought I got this morning. You thought you would start a campaign to bring solace and comfort for those widows and orphans that you care for with your own funds. But because I knew you loved them, I brought all these afflictions on you and on them all of a sudden, so as to move you to start this campaign, because my son, as you were able to see how that my Torah and her words in the scroll have been left fatherless, and therefore are as a widow with many orphans, I also see that the teachings and the words in the hearts of all Israel and the people of this world, I see them as widows and orphans as well. Put them over here. Because most of them have been raised by an alphabet, because everything comes from an alphabet. Every manual is written, most of them have been raised by an alphabet, which means father, that is not able to showcase to this whole world the wondrous works that I'm doing for the whole creation with every breath that they take, like you do, son. Therefore go and gather my people from the four winds and four corners of the earth, and bring them into my fold, and I will remove the veil from their eyes, and I will be a Baal Kadosh, which means sacred husband to them. And I will take them camping once again to the Reed Sea for my last perpetual honeymoon celebration. And through the work you have done in the last 4 years of reconnecting the within with the without, and the above with the below, I will write my laws within their hearts, and I, the Ab, which means father, will be their land, and they will never cease from following me and from calling me father. For this whole world is now ready to be one with me. Okay? So, then I write here about the concept of money, which I'm not able to teach because it's quite a lengthy thing, but I will teach you, as time progresses. Let me just put the picture of that once again so you'll remember what I'm talking about. they put all this to the top. The concept of money. We'll start from there. So, but this is the picture I'm talking about. The way you need to see it, because all religions in the world, they all believe in 7 denominations. So to me, the true religion in the world right now is 7 denominations. The $1 denomination, the $2 denomination, the $5 denomination, like it's in the middle here. The $10 denomination, the $20 denomination, the $50 denomination, and the $100 denomination. And all the religions put their trust in it. But for the reason, the power they grant to the money, that's not what it is. That's a power that they are robbing and taking away from Hagma Benedas. So that's as much as I'm going to say. But I will teach you how to correct that. All right, let me bring this down. Let's keep going. So, I'm sorry. Let me bring it back. Sorry about that. I need to put the lesson back. Okay, here we go. So now we're talking about the concept of money. The concept of money you hold in your mind, for example, depending on what you think it is that you are doing with it when you are paying for anything, that concept could be the most lethal weapon of massive whole wide world destruction, which robs you and blinds you and prevents you from discovering how it is that in spite of what you are doing in the narratives that have captured your imagination, you are still in the here and now the best famta. That is FAMTA, which stands for the best father and mother to all being, a famta being that all of us always get to be in this world as we work 24/7 in the economy of the Alefbet of Yud Hevave. Okay, then it continues. Now I am requesting at this hour, because the money that they're garnishing me, they said that I owe a total of $7,000, so they're taking a big chunk out of my check right now. But I don't worry. If I get the money, I'm going to use it to invest on the Agent for Truth, the agent that used to work for the IRS and now has a crusade going. I'm going to use my money to invest on that. But there's a lot of things that I have going. I have websites. I have been sitting there idle for 21 years because I have been working for 44 years not stop. But I know what I have to say now, and I know what I have learned. So now I'm taking time to be able to finally use them and take them on, into the world. So I am requesting a support donation of $88,000. Why $88,000? Because in the Tanakh, there's 8,800 words, in Hebrew words, that are used, and 8 is the number of new beginnings. Okay, so 8,800 words is all the Hebrew words that are utilized to write the Tanakh. The 24 books of the what you call in Christianity the Old Testament. And we are in the year to me of the Tanakh has 24 books. We are at 2024. So all of that is significant to me. So that's 88,000. So it's times 10, because we want to give a 10, to the Tanakh for all the things that it has to show us. But in any case, I am requesting a support of 88,000, 36,000. 36,000 is to the 36 Hasidim, Tzaddikim, righteous people that are in the world. And that's why God doesn't destroy the world anytime, because at least there has to be 36 Tzaddikims. That means righteous people in the world for God to allow the world to continue to exist. So I like that number as well. 36,000 is to build the largest widow and orphans ministry there in Lahore, Pakistan, to minister not only to Christians, widows, and orphans, but also to Muslim widows and orphans, or to any widows and orphans of any tribe or religion. The other 52,000 is to work on my domains, the CEOs.com and the CFOs.com, so that I can go and approach all the CEOs of all the companies in the whole world to register all their hardworking employees that have never taken a vacation like I have done for the last 44 years. I have never taken a vacation. For me to sign them in the CEOs, and we will honor and commemorate his or her efforts. The CEOs of the companies that will join us will be inscribed in the CFOs that come, because every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain will finally recognize and acknowledge that all the valleys have been the ones that have been holding up the mountains upon their shoulders. All right. So finally, my fellow friends, Wardists and the Barians, I leave you with the good word for you. I leave you with this good word for you to ponder and meditate upon. Most people of different faiths agree that human life starts when a single sperm cell enters a single ovum cell. When that single sperm cell enters the ovums, that sperm cell hits the jackpot, because that single ovum cell, is going to become the queen bee of the entire body, filling that body with up to 37.2 trillion procreational cells. The weird thing that tends to happen, however, is that once you are born, you forget to treat all of the trillion cells inside you as your multitudes of mini-me's, supporting you and doing all the important work to keep you alive and carefree, so that you can busy yourself in very enthusiastically taking care of your fellow man to facilitate for him or her a very comfortable and carefree existence. You know that each cell inside of you is just another you, because scientists nowadays can take a single cell from your body and clone it into another you. All right? So remember, in the corporation, they only count you as one big pile of dust. Right? That's all they do. But inside your body, which is where all your cells live, is a cell station. And each one of your cells shares the breath that you take. Okay, and then at the end here. So in the corporation, corpse, which a corporation, when you break it down, is a corpse oration, or speaker or orator for the dead. So in the corporation, you have been trained to think that there are only 8 billion people in the world. But in the cell station of your body, there are 37.2 trillion life-giving cells. So you need to multiply them by the 8 billion the corporation has told that we are, and then we arrive at 300 septillion human beings in the world today. That is a 3 followed by 26 zeros. And 26 is the number value of Yud He Vav He. Coincidence? I think not. Yud He Vav He takes into account every cell that he is feeding with each single breath that we take. All right, so that's basically my campaign. I hope you will start contributing to this and make this happen. Because I thought of just helping my widows, but then I realized that God thinks that each teaching in you that is not allowing you, to see the dynamics of what he's doing for you 24/7 in the here and now, has left you as a widow and as an orphan because you don't know how to express and to be a founder being in the here and now, a father and mother to all being. You just understand how to be a human being, but I will teach you those things because I'm aware of those things every day. And so let me take you and leave you with the pictures here at the end, the last pictures to share. So this is the thing, I already shared to you that. Okay, to wear that crown here. This is a very important thing here. Where your Shema or your attention goes, your Elohim or CBDC energizations flow. So when your attention goes, your energizations flow. And to whatsoever grabbing your attention causes you to say, wow, your energizations get to bow. Okay. Now let me share the other picture here that goes along with all of this. This is me to show you that this is my real name. I was born, like it says here, in 25th of December 1959. This is a passport. The only thing I have left for Guatemala when I came here, and Zacharias David Emmanuel Castro Stevenson. And even the numeric number of 14, that's the numerical value for David. Numerical value of David is 14, and that's what I'm calling myself David. So even that wasn't in the passport then, when I was given to me. I had no idea. I connected with all that later on as I connect everything now. But that was there too, you see. And so it was amazing. Okay, so I see. So I was born in Bananera, all of that is here. In Puerto Barrios, all of that here. That's me there when I came here. So this is my sign, my standard for which I'm going to hold to the world. I also I put here my Cash App. For those who want to send it to Cash App, the tag is $ Uncle Z, UNCLEZEE, and I also put my Zelle there. That's cc@preacher.com. You want to sell. So all of this information is there, but I hope you go and help me with my GoFundMe for this. Wonderful things are about to happen, and this is the jackpot. I have hundreds of lessons to explain. I started doing this and doing lives in Facebook since March of 2020, and there's a lot of material there, for you to be familiar with it. So I brought back the nomenclature for us to have this conversation of the dynamics of the breath in the here and now, to understand that this body, as the sages says, this body is going to teach Torah at the end, and that's exactly what I've learned to do. All right, so I will bring that to you. So, all right, so let's get this going, my people. And then I have this at the end. What we're going to be doing is I hope to take this because this is the battle going on in the world. Shaka Zulu, I put this because this is the hunter of the field. And the field in the Bible represents the Aleph Tab because that's where we get our creative energy. Our creative energy is Hagma Bina Das, CBDC, which is competing with what the world wants to take into cryptocurrency. The real cryptocurrency is what's hidden in you. CBDC, Hagma Binida crowns. Your wisdom, understanding, and knowledge crown is what makes everything. And so, forgetting is the word Shaka. Shaka is to forget. And my name is Zacharias. It means to remember. So there's a saying that to remember is to live again. So is to remember is to live again. To shaka, to forget, is to kill anew. So everybody that has forgotten, they're killing anew the dynamics of the breath in the here and now, what you have always doing but I'm being brought here, and I've been crowned to, so there's the war in this world is the war between, the one that remembers and the one that forgets. The one that forgets kills anew, and the one that remembers bring everything to life again. All right, so that's why I put here, who loves you, baby? The one that makes you remember all that you are in the here and now, or the one that makes you forget and makes you and count you as a pile of dust, as if somebody will count a pile of dust instead of all the marble. All right, that we are. So that's it. Thank you for your attention, and I appreciate your cooperation in all of this. We're going to have a magnificent wonderful time doing all of this. I appreciate your attention. And may God bless and mightily strengthen all of you. Thank you for your time.